we're getting close to the end. We can wrap up soon, but just real quick, what do you think's gonna happen in the 2022 midterms? Because those are this year, and I guess most people are kind of anticipating the Democrats being just completely dookied on. But what do you expect to happen in the midterms this year?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're gonna get squashed. They controlled all the major legislative branches of government and didn't do anything. So, that's what happens. The pendulum swings the other way.
I also think a big part of it is COVID is honestly worse during Biden. Way more people have died from COVID since Biden became president, which is kind of crazy to think about. But
We were
I
inside during
think,
Trump. People actually
well,
took
yeah,
it a little
true,
bit more seriously actually during Trump. And
very
now you have the
true,
party
and
that was woke scolding everybody, or just rather scolding everybody about social distancing and everything, and they are seemingly more lenient than the last administration. You're all vaxxed. Go out. We need you to keep stimulating the economy.
yeah, and I think for kind of your regular Joe voter who doesn't think a whole lot about politics, all they will see is that, well, COVID was worse under Biden. We got less stimulus under
A big thing. I
Biden.
got more money from Trump, so a lot of people who aren't, especially people
Yeah.
who aren't plugged into this shit, are just like, "Hey, I got more money under Trump."
Yeah, and I kind of can't really blame
Not faulty
them. I
logic
mean,
by any means.
yeah. So yeah, the Democrats are probably going to get squashed. I don't have much more to predict about that.
I intend on running for the General Assembly here in my state of Illinois.
Awesome. For real, are
Yeah,
you?
I have to collect
Okay.
signatures.
We will definitely promote your campaign on the show. Send me any info and I will promote
I
it.
will.
The ballots are in, and one girl had to win.
And so let's close out the show. I kind of want to predict, who do you think is going to die in 2021? And I have a few predictions. And I also want to say that when I was assembling the notes for this show, I both predicted that I was going to predict that Betty White was going to die, and I was going to predict that Sidney Poitier was going to die. And so if we recorded this a little earlier, I would have been so on the money, but I don't have any evidence that I would have predicted that, so it's all hearsay. But
Nostradamus over here. Got Nostradamus. But I mean, Betty White is a gimme.
yeah, yeah. So I guess I'll start with the first person I think's gonna die this year, Jimmy Carter. Do you think he's likely to die this
Yeah,
year?
he's I mean, he's already completely blind, I'm pretty sure, and I don't think he does much. I think he plucks a bandage every once in a while, but yeah, he's probably on his way out.
Yeah, I remember when I lived in Portland, so I moved away from Portland in 2015 or 2016, and they had a book sign. I went to Pal's Books, the big bookstore there, and it was packed because they were having a book signing with Jimmy Carter, and I already thought he was dead. I was like, how is he here?
That's funny.
And so that had to be 7 years ago or so.
Yeah, he's on his way out. I think that's probably a safe bet.
Yeah, and then another person that I have been, anticipating might die for a while as soon as I learned that he was still alive is the actor William Daniels, who is most familiar to me for having played Mr. Feeney on Boy Meets World. He is in his late 90s.
He was also the father in The Graduate.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He was old in the late 80s. He was known for playing an old guy.
Yes.
Was it the late 80s Boy Meets World? I think it actually might have been the 90s. But either way, it was like more than 20 years ago. So he was old then.
Yeah, and I mean he's still on. Well, it's not on anymore, but he was on Girl Meets World, the Disney Channel spin-off of Boy Meets World.
Oh yeah.
And at that point, he was very old.
Yeah, they had to dust the cobwebs off of him before they got him on that show.
I think so. I'm looking at his Wikipedia. He was also the Screen Actors Guild president from 99 to 2001 and led the union's 2000 commercial actors strike,
Shit.
which is pretty cool.
All right, Mr. Feeney.
Yeah, good job, Feeney. Okay, I have a couple other, but do you have any predictions about who will die this year?
Yeah, I see you had like a little bit of a list here, but I only have one. It's a bombshell. Are you ready? I'm gonna hit you with it.
Mm-hmm.
Danny DeVito.
Oh, that would be a bombshell. Oh no. That would be sad.
Yeah, that is probably the worst one I can think of. I'd also maybe wager Chevy Chase.
That's a good guess. I could see that. He doesn't seem particularly healthy.
At his age, I mean.
Yeah, and then there's also the question of Queen Elizabeth, because I think this one is kind of a gimme as well, because a lot of people already believe she has died, and she hasn't.
She's already kicked the bucket. Yeah, that video she put out on Christmas was a deep fake.
Yeah, yeah, and also, I mean, when they basically flew her last minute to some palace that like every Windsor has died at for the past like 500 years or whatever. So maybe she's on vacation there, but you know, yeah, I think she may have already been dead. But if she's not, then she will die this year. That's the given.
Cue the Smiths.
And then my last two guests, you know, this is another one where I'm just playing the age game, but Bob Barker, man, is he really freaking old.
This was the only one that thought he was already dead that I saw you include. I thought Bob Barker was already
dead. I think a lot of people did. I think a lot of people assumed Drew Carey replaced him on Price is Right when he died.
That's what I thought. I think I'm like, I already thought he died, but maybe I was just confusing that with the time he retired from hosting The Price is Right.
Yeah. My last guess, he's not too old or anything, but he does seem unhealthy. I know he's been reclusive, binge eating, binge drinking. That's the type of thing that's reported on. So I think it is possible Jack Nicholson might die this year.
Binge drinking, huh? I didn't hear that. I heard he's like has some dementia.
Oh, really?
I think I remember reading that.
Yeah, like, I guess I can't properly say he's a binge drinker, but I do know that he does still have a lot of wild kind of alcohol-filled, drug-filled parties sometimes, even though he just looks unhealthy, whatever it is.
If you got invited to an alcohol and drug-addled party at Jack Nicholson's place, would you say no?
I would not say no, but I also think you might end up saying some things that disturb you.
Yeah, that's part of the fun.
I mean, don't forget that it was at Jack Nicholson's house that Roman Polanski raped someone.
Oh, that's maybe I'll have to take a rain check on the alcohol and drug party at Jackie's place.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a little less dark than that nowadays. He probably just wants to like watch sports on his big ass TV while he drinks and does drugs. With a lot of people around or something.
Us.
Yes.